Developed by Midway Games in 1992, Mortal Kombat is a famous American franchise based on a series of video games. Deadly, brutal fights and a mind-blowing final fatality attack, the game eventually became the best-selling fighting game franchise worldwide. With growing responses, the franchise even released 3 live-action movies. The part of the game that remains embedded in the minds of its fans is the different characters and their combo moves. There are many popular characters from the series with scintillating powers and backstories, but in today's video we will be shifting our focus to those who have proved themselves to be ultra powerful, but are yet to become popular amongst the fans. So without further delay, let us explore our 20 most powerful Mortal Kombat characters that fans underestimate all the time. Before we get into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means an awful lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Kotal Khan. Our first warrior is from the Oshtek realm. For the ones who are yet to know, Oshtek is a gold-dominated realm dwelled by warmongering inhabitants. At some point, when the realm was ruled by his father, Kotal Khan, Shao Kahn, the tyrannical emperor of Outworld, invaded the Oshtek realm. After a long battle with Shao Kahn and his champion, Goro, Kotal Khan accepted defeat and swore his allegiance to the Emperor of Outworld. The Oshtek warriors were spared, and Kotal Khan was allowed to keep the realm's secret treasure, the Portal Stone. This decision was questioned by an angry Kotal Khan, to which his father stated that it was necessary to fulfill their ancient rite of Realm Walk. He gave Kotal Khan the Portal Stone and the challenge to travel to Earthrealm and fulfill the rite. Kotal Khan accepted the challenge. He reached Earth, and after traveling a long distance through snowy mountains and deserts, he arrived at the Amazon jungle and encountered the Mayans. The Mayan civilization reminded Kotal of his realm, and he decided to help them defeat the Spanish conquerors. The Mayans soon started worshipping Kotal and named him Bulak Shabtan, the war god. Following Kotal blindly, the Mayans began eating the hearts of foreigners, which resulted in them contracting numerous diseases and infections, eventually leading to their extinction. Although he wanted to help the Mayans, his influence led to their demise, and he returned to Outworld in despair. In Outworld, Kotal Khan joined Shao Kahn's army, and even participated in the invasion of Earthrealm. After the death of Shao Kahn, the title of Emperor was shifted to his successor, Mileena, who quickly proved to be far more ruthless and tyrannical than Shao Kahn. Kotal Khan eventually dethroned Mileena and became the Emperor of Outworld. Kotal Khan was not like his Oshtek ancestors. He was peace-loving and had no desire to engage in conquering or conquest. However, this trait should certainly not be the judge of how powerful Kotal Khan is. Appearing for the first time in Mortal Kombat X, Kotal Khan has a wide range of abilities. Along with his superhuman strength, Kotal also possessed the power to shapeshift. He is shown to be wielding some crazy badass weapons, which include a Macaweedle, a Tekpotl, sickles, and totems. Rain. Making his debut in the original Mortal Kombat 3 as a rarely used character, Rain was a demigod and a treacherous prince of the Edenian race. He was the son of the god Argus and half-brother to the demigods Taven and Dagon, whose prime motive was to conquer Outworld and claim its throne. Rain was the result of an affair Argus had with an Edenian woman named Amara, but while an infant, he was given to commoners by Argus in order to hide his secret. This led Amara to die in grief, and after Rain learned the truth behind his parentage, he sought revenge from his father. Rain was one of the most interesting characters in the Mortal Kombat universe, for which, when he was introduced as a gag character, players relentlessly searched for him. He is a demigod, and the wielder of great power. He had great control of water and lightning. He could summon pressurized water jet streams to propel him or attack his opponents. He could also create lightning storms or even block the sun from the sky after summoning clouds. Among his notable moves is one in which he could trap his opponents in a spherical water prison, and another where he could turn himself into the water and move swiftly behind his enemies. He could strangely transfer immense strength to his legs and deliver catastrophic strikes with it. In Mortal Kombat 11, he was shown wielding a Jamad Har, a katar made up of 3 blades. Rain could also open dimensional rifts. Kenshi Takahashi. Kenshi Takahashi was a blind swordsman with telekinetic and psychokinetic abilities. Kenshi belonged to the Earth Realm and later became an ally to the Special Forces. He appeared for the first time as a playable character in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, and was showcased as a rogue swordsman from Japan bearing deep hatred for the evil sorcerer Shang Tsung. Kenshi is one of the most prominent characters of Mortal Kombat, and is associated with very important events. He freed Ermac from the control of Shao Kahn in the Outworld realm, after which he joined the Special Forces alongside Jax and Sonya Blade in their attempts to bring down Mavado and his Red Dragon faction. He was the father of Takeda Takahashi. Although Kenshi's powers were quite similar to Ermac's, the former used a physical weapon, a katana, to channel his powers. He was more of a mid-range attacker, and his moves were most effective when applied from a distance. Kenshi could also create a temporary psychic clone of himself. When it comes to enhanced senses, there are not many that can surpass Kenshi. His enhanced senses surpass that of the super assassin SubZero. Amongst his popular signature moves, he conducted different attacks using his telekinesis, like the telekinetic slam, push, and flurry. He could also mind warp and summon a demon to attack his opponents. There are several other moves, and it is best advised to play the game to spot them. Kabal. Introduced in Mortal Kombat 3, Kabal's origin and character have been rather confusing. There are different roles in different timelines that Kabal has fulfilled. In the original timeline, Kabal was showcased as a member of the Black Dragon Clan, an international gang of criminals. As previously mentioned, Shao Kahn had attempted to invade the Earthrealm, during which one of Shao Kahn's extermination squads attacked Kabal and severely mutilated him. After intense experimentation, Kabal managed to survive, although only with the use of his artificial respirators. His willpower remained unbroken. He reformed his life and chose to join the forces of good. However, he was wounded critically by the leader of the Red Dragon clan, Mavado, who also took away his hook swords. When Kabal was left to die, Havoc found him on the brink of his death and helped him survive. Havoc's only deal was for Kabal to bring back the Black Dragon clan, to which Kabal agreed. Despite choosing a life devoid of evil ways, he agreed to Havoc's deal, and after a few years, he returned to Earthrealm to reclaim his hook swords from Mavado. Being a Black Dragon warrior, there can be no limits to Kabal's ruthlessness in battle. After being experimented on and tortured by Shao Kahn's extermination crew, he had to wear a mask to hide his hideous appearance. His deformed face is so hideous that it could very well scare anyone. Kabal could also fire plasma blasts from his mask. Along with enormous strength, Kabal could move faster than the speed of sound, and he appears as a blur when moving. He is undoubtedly the fastest character in the Mortal Kombat universe. At times, he has even been compared to the Flash from DC Comics. Noob Saibot. Noob Saibot was one of the products of Quan Chi's sorcery, the other one being Scorpion. They were the Wraiths, or the resurrected inhuman warriors created for the purposes of serving Shinnok and the Brotherhood of Shadow. The Wraiths were not like zombies or the undead. They possess enormous power associated with the Netherrealm. On Earthrealm, there was an intense rivalry between the Shirai Ryu clan and the Lin Kuei clan. Before being killed by Scorpion, Bi-Han was a member of the Lin Kuei clan and known as the original SubZero. Quan Chi manipulated a Shirai Ryu massacre and made Bi-Han responsible for the act. One of the warriors of the decimated clan, Hanzo Hasashi, was resurrected as Scorpion, who was made to believe that Bi-Han was the man behind the massacre. Scorpion faced SubZero, or Bi-Han, in the first round of Mortal Kombat and killed him. After his death, his soul was sent to the Netherrealm, where it was transformed by Quan Chi into a shadow of his former self. He was Noob Saibot, and he was enlisted by Quan Chi to serve the dark motives of Shinnok. He was the very first to spy on Shao Kahn, and he was present during Shao Kahn's invasion on the Earthrealm. Shinnok's motive was to monitor the progress of the forces of Outworld against Earthrealm. While alive, Bi-Han possessed all the powers of SubZero, but after being resurrected as Noob Saibot, all his powers shifted to shadows and ghastly aspects. Being a former ninja warrior, he was brilliant in hand-to-hand combat and could use shurikens effectively. He could vanish in thin air and also teleport to any point. Noob Saibot had a unique move known as the Disabler, in which he shrouded his enemies in a mythical fog, which rendered their fighting abilities useless. Kano. Born in Australia, Kano was a pure madman. He was a part of the Black Dragon clan and was a treacherous mercenary. Kano is not just brutal, but also incredibly sly and cunning. His opportunistic and selfish nature brought him to the likes of Shao Kahn, and he soon became the general for the armies of Outworld. He had a sick infatuation for Sonya Blade, and vulgarity was an add-on to his barbaric nature. At some point, his face was disfigured following an injury he sustained after fighting Jax. In the first Mortal Kombat game, Kano was the supporting antagonist, and he became the major villain in Mortal Kombat 3. When it comes to fighting Kano, the worst is not his skills, but his shrewd tactics. There is nothing ugly or unfair that Kano cannot do to win a fight. He doesn't believe in honor, and for him, victory is all that matters, no matter how it comes. Kano is more dependent on weapons and technology rather than fighting skills, but he has a special move where he spins like a ball and charges at his opponents. The Collector. The Collector belonged to the Naknada race, who were known for being slaves to Shao Kahn, especially during the building of the Colosseum. The Naknadans were usually named after the kind of work they were associated with, and in the case of the Collector, he was Shao Kahn's tribute collector. Long ago, during Shao Kahn's reign, the Collector's work was to collect tribute from the poor citizens of Outworld, which often happened ruthlessly. Collector was born poor, and he later managed to rise up through the ranks by torturing Outworld citizens to fill his own pocket at their expense. After the death of Shao Kahn and the fall of Melina, when Kotal Khan became the emperor, Collector became a wanted man. After hiding for years, he was caught and sentenced to death for the crimes that he had committed against the citizens of Outworld. However, on the day of his execution, he managed to free himself after a violent sandstorm erupted. A rip in space and time soon followed, from which many warriors from the past emerged, including Shao Kahn. Collector joined Shao Kahn, and a fierce battle erupted between them and Kotal Khan, who was also assisted by different incarnations of the Raiden. A portal suddenly opened up from where Titan DVorah appeared and asked Shao Kahn and his team to follow. Since then, the Collector has served Shao Kahn, who made plans to reclaim the throne of Outworld's emperor. The Collector was a skinny Naknadan with 6 arms. There were 4 arms which came out of his shoulders while 2 emerged from his back. Although the Collector was slender, he could lift up and throw a person with just 2 hands. Owing to his nature, or collecting whatever he found useful, he possessed a wide array of weapons. He also had talents in the magical arts, which allowed him to teleport or charge his weapons.
Fight!
Shiva. In the original timeline, after Prince Goro became the champion of Mortal Kombat, his race, the Shokans, gained a lot of popularity. Their status was uplifted, and they eventually became Shao Kahn's most prized soldiers. One such savage female warrior was Shiva. During Shao Kahn's invasion of the Earth, he resurrected Queen Sindel and assigned Shiva as her protector. During the battle, Shiva decimated anyone who tried coming near Sindel effectively, until Jade and Kitana confronted her. Shiva's brute strength was rendered useless against the combined skills of Jade and Kitana, and she was eventually taken down. Accepting her defeat, Shiva retreated back to the Outworld realm. By the time she returned, Shao Kahn had betrayed the Shokans and declared war against them. Previously, before the beginning of the battle, Shao Kahn appointed Motaro as the leader of his extermination squads. Motaro was a Centaurian, and the Centaurians were mortal enemies of the Shokans, for which Shiva kept growing hostile to Shao Kahn. Shiva eventually joined her brethren and decided to take revenge on Motaro. Shiva later formed an alliance with Kano, who promised to help her take down Motaro. Kano also promised to help kill Shao Kahn, but when the moment arrived, he betrayed her, which eventually led to her demise at the hands of Shao Kahn. Shiva's primary gift was her super strength. She was 7 feet 3 inches tall and could beat the living soul out of her opponents with her 4 hands. She could also rip them apart. Amongst her special moves were the abilities to teleport and come crashing down on top of her opponents. Along with launching fireballs, she often tore the hands off of her opponents and used them to smack them. Quan Chi. Quan Chi is an evil sorcerer and has been serving as one of the main antagonists of the Mortal Kombat game series. Using his dark magic, Quan Chi sought to conquer all the realms. He is the demon of the Netherrealm and has control over necromancy. However, dark magic is not the only thing about Quan Chi. He is cunning, highly intelligent, cold, and calculative. Quan Chi was the main reason Hanzo became Scorpion and Bi-Han became Noob Saibot. He was the enemy of both Earthrealm and Outworld and served the fallen elder Shinnok. Quan Chi was the most powerful sorcerer of the Netherrealm, and during battle, he relied more on his magical abilities rather than his fighting skills. However, his fighting skills were remarkable as well. He had the power to resurrect deceased beings to serve him, along with the power to steal souls. He could also project his consciousness to his agents in different realms and manipulate events. Along with the ability to teleport, he could throw green skulls at his opponents. Quan Chi was, in fact, one of the most powerful characters in the Mortal Kombat universe, and along with the mentioned skills, he could cast illusions to take his opponents by surprise. Tremor. If the ruthless and aggressive madman Kano wasn't enough for trouble, then we have his loyal follower, Tremor. Missing out on his spot in the Mortal Kombat trilogy to Rain, Tremor first appeared in Mortal Kombat Special Forces, but as a non-playable character. He was the arms dealer for the Black Dragon clan. At some point, when the Special Forces captured him, Kano helped him escape, after which their alliance began. Kano had then assigned Tremor as his lookout, and the guardian of the Outworld portal. Being a ninja bestowed with the powers of an earth elemental, Tremor possessed geokinesis. His control over minerals was so intense that he could transform anybody into a crystal. He could create eruptions in the earth and also throw fireballs at his opponents. He could also manipulate rocks and even make lethal weapons out of them. DVorah. Making her debut in Mortal Kombat X, DVorah was an insectoid and an inhabitant of the island realm of Arnyek. The realm and its inhabitants, the Kaitins, was secluded from the world until Shao Kahn arrived and conquered it. All her people were killed, but DVorah survived after promising her loyalty to Shao Kahn. Eventually, she climbed higher ranks and served Shao Kahn as his advisor. After Shao Kahn's death, Mileena became the heir to the throne, who later proved to be worse than her father. DVorah despised Mileena, but chose to wait for the correct opportunity. Finally, her moment arrived when the Osh-Tech warrior, Kotal Khan, began instigating the citizens of Outworld against Mileena. She allied with Kotal Khan immediately, and helped him carry out his war against Mileena. After Kotal Khan emerged victorious, she became his minister and most trusted advisor. Being a Kaitin, DVorah's blood was highly toxic, and it was often secreted through her hands or mouth. She could also release bugs from her body that could perform several activities. The bugs could devour bullets, heal victims by sealing their wounds, and also pick locks. She has 4 poisonous ovipositors, which help her sting her opponents effectively in battle. She possessed enormous strength, using which she grabbed her opponents in mid-air and slammed them back on the ground. Most of DVorah's attacks were made using insects. She could summon an insect to fire yellow resin, throw a large insect on the ground, which eventually charged at her opponents and exploded on contact, and summon a swarm of bugs to toss her opponents mid-air. DVorah, in the comics, was shown to have the power of regenerative healing. Havoc. Havoc was from the Chaos Realm, and he spent most of his life traveling different realms and spreading chaos and disorder. At some point, Onaga, the Dragon King, returned to reclaim Outworld. This harmed Havoc's interest as Onaga ruled by order, and he soon began planning his ways to prevent Onaga's victory. In Outworld, Havoc met Kabal, who was then severely wounded in battle, and promised him to be able to restore and rule the Black Dragon clan. Together, they recruited Kira and Cobra, after which Havoc disclosed the plan to them as well. According to the scheme, Havoc would organize a confrontation between them and Onaga, and they would kill the Dragon King. Dragon King Onaga was eventually killed, but before Kabal could claim Onaga's heart to obtain his power, the Edenian Queen Sindel destroyed it. Havoc was later seen during the Battle of Armageddon, which took place in Edenia. He had fought alongside the forces of darkness to claim the power of Blaze, which would enhance Havoc's might to such a level that he could unleash chaos across the universe. However, this did not happen as he died during the battle. Havoc's body was immensely warped, for which he barely experienced pain. He is instead shown to be rejoicing after recovering from life-threatening injuries. Being a herald of chaos, Havoc's fighting style was also chaotic and bizarre. His moves are unpredictable, and his techniques could destroy his opponent's mind and body. In the current timeline, Havoc was able to corrupt the blood magic within the Kamidogu, which reveals that he also possesses the skills of sorcery. Corrupting the blood magic, Havoc could take control of anyone who was cut with the daggers, including the gods. Blood magic also helped him survive after being beaten viciously and relentlessly by Scorpion. His signature moves included the torso spin, Divine Corpse, where he dived under his opponents and knocked them off, and the head snap. In a special move known as Cracking Legs Projectile, Havoc would crack his legs at right angles and launch projectiles from his hands. Boraicho. Boraicho was a jovial character from the Outworld realm who, despite being important, made his first appearance in the 5th installment of the Mortal Kombat series. Although he was from Outworld, he disliked Shao Kahn and his path of imperialism. Instead of participating in the tournaments, he trained Earthrealm warriors fighting in them. Boraicho had trained the Shaolin monks Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Kai Shujinko, and an Outworlder known as Li Mei, who opposed the Emperor, Shao Kahn. Boraicho was an obese and drunken master of martial arts. He was the sole creator of his unique fighting style, which he named the Drunken Fist style. It was funny and amazing at the same time to watch how Boraicho dominated his opponents using his perplexing technique. Despite being enormously heavy, his agility is amazing. He was even able to bounce or ricochet on his belly. Adding to this, Boraicho could manipulate seismic events and has always shown to be a brilliant tactician. His savage move was to use his vomit as a trap in battle. Cyber SubZero. The codename SubZero was adopted by two brothers, Bi-Han and Kuai Liang. Both of them were descendants of cryomancers and possessed the ability to create or manipulate ice. The two brothers were born to a cryomancer father and a Chinese-American human mother. They later grew up to be Lin Kuei assassins, and Bi-Han took the name of SubZero, while Kuai Liang was codenamed Tundra. Following the death of Bi-Han at the hands of Scorpion, Kuai Liang took upon the name SubZero and swore revenge. Unlike Bi-Han, Kuai Liang's morals were stronger. After learning the hideous practices of his clan, he rebelled against them, but only to be marked for death. Kuai Liang eventually joined the defenders of Earthworld in their struggle against Shao Kahn. At some point, they were attacked by the Cyber Lin Kuei. Raiden managed to save Kuai Liang's friend Smoke, but Kuai Liang was captured and turned into an android known as Cyber SubZero. Cyber SubZero's powers and abilities are exactly like that of SubZero, but enhanced, making him the most capable cyber ninja. He not only defeated Sector and his older brother, but he also defeated the Shokan champions Kintaro and Goro, all by himself. He could fire ice blasts from his chest and freeze his opponents. Like his human version, Cyber SubZero could shape the cold around his body to construct solid weaponry. Being transformed into an android, he could teleport by separating his limbs, but he has lost the ability to make ice clones. Jade. Jade was a loyal childhood friend of Kitana. For most of her life, she has served Shao Kahn as his personal assassin alongside Kitana and Mileena. Later, when Kitana turned against Shao Kahn and Jade was sent to capture her, she chose to join her childhood friend. Together, they began their quest to free their native realm from Shao Kahn and restore its beauty. They managed to free Kitana's mother, Sindel, by defeating Shiva, who was then guarding her. At some point, she had a romantic relationship with Kotal Khan. Jade was a highly skilled hand-to-hand combatant, and her main weapon of choice was a meta staff along with razor-edged boomerangs. She had an amazing move in which she illuminated herself with green force and struck her opponents with an unimaginable force. Stryker. Officer Curtis Stryker first appeared in Mortal Kombat 3 as the Special Riot Control Division leader in the New York City Police Department. Although originally he was designed as a Caucasian man in an urban design, his look in Armageddon was altered into a serious-looking policeman. He was fiercely dedicated to justice, for which Raiden recruited him to the team of defenders for Earthrealm. Stryker mainly relied on modern weaponry and used explosives, tasers, nightsticks, and firearms during battle. However, he was highly resilient and proficient in hand-to-hand combat. Despite being a human police officer, he defeated Reptile, Ermac, Mileena, and even Kintaro in battle.
Onaga, former Emperor of Outworld.
Onaga. Serving as the main antagonist, Onaga, the Dragon King, first appeared in Mortal Kombat Deception. Onaga was the first ruler of Outworld, who Shao Kahn poisoned. His army was kept mummified while Shao Kahn became the ruler of Outworld. He later arrived to reclaim the throne, but was defeated and killed by Kabal, Kira, and Cobra. Onaga was undoubtedly one of the strongest characters in the Mortal Kombat universe, for which even Shao Kahn preferred poisoning him instead of confronting him. At some point, when Onaga had the Kamidogu, he became unstoppable. Even Raiden's self-destruct blast, one of his most powerful moves, was not enough to destroy the Dragon King. Onaga's powers were like that of a dragon. He could exhale flames in the form of a ball, and he could also fly. His signature moves were the jumping stomp and sliding kick, along with his flamethrowing abilities. In Mortal Kombat X, Onaga was shown to be possessing a regenerative healing factor. Pharah and Tor. Pharah and Tor were a symbiotic pairing where a female rider is merged with a masked brute. Although not much is known about the character's past, they are assumed to be one of the discarded genetic experiments of Shang Tsung. At some point, while wandering across the wastelands of the Outworld, they were captured by the Tarkatans, who mercilessly detached and caged them. Later, after the power shift on Outworld, the new Emperor, Kotal Khan, freed them and allowed them to slaughter their Tarkatan captors. Pharah and Tor then followed Kotal Khan and offered their service as his bodyguard. While Tor's size gave him super strength and durability, Pharah's smaller frame gave her agility. When they fought together, they used combo attacks to deliver more damage to their opponents. While Tor used charging attacks, Pharah used her bladed gauntlet to deliver severe cuts. At times, Pharah chose to cheer for Tor from the sidelines, and even then, Tor's strength was good enough to take down most of their opponents. The two had a move in which Tor would throw Pharah at their opponents. While in flight, Pharah spun and used her blades to slash their opponent's face. In another move, Tor used his strength to grab his opponents, while Pharah used her blades to stab. Jacqui Briggs. Jacqui Briggs was born to Jackson Briggs and Vera Briggs and was a close friend of Cassie Cage. Jacqui grew up to become a professional kickboxer and eventually participated in the Junior Olympics. She later joined the Special Forces of the Earthrealm against her father's choices as she considered protecting the Earth her prime duty. She also had a romantic relationship with Kenshi's son and Scorpion's apprentice, Takeda Takahashi. As a highly skilled kickboxer, Jacqui could knock a grown man unconscious. Later, after joining the Special Forces, her skills were enhanced owing to intense training. She used a pair of electronic gauntlets that enhanced her strength and could also fire shotgun rounds, machine gun rounds, rockets, and even plasma energy. She received a sports-augmented digitized LED edition, which increased her kicking power. After the upgrade, she could further augment her physical melee with the help of energized currents that she could channel through her limbs. Scarlett. Scarlett made her first appearance in Mortal Kombat 11 as a DLC character. Scarlett was once a mere ragamuffin who was left to starve on the streets of Zunkara until Shao Kahn adopted her. Shao Kahn used her in a mysterious experiment where he fused the blood of innumerable deceased soldiers along with his dark magic. After the experiment, the new Scarlett was a powerful hunter and assassin and became Shao Kahn's most trusted and deadly creation. During the Outworld tournament, Shao Kahn had entrusted Scarlett with the task of keeping an eye on Quan Chi and killing him if he showed any signs of betrayal. Later, when Shao Kahn initiated the merging of the Earth Realm into the Outworld Realm, she was absent, for which Shao Kahn met his demise at the hands of Raiden. There were reasons why Scarlett was Shao Kahn's deadliest creation. She was extremely ferocious in battle and could fight relentlessly. She had a bunch of blades that she sometimes used as projectiles and sometimes used as melee weapons. She could use several blood-related techniques. She could throw orbs of blood, which could morph into a red liquid that she molded to make structures. She also possessed a regenerative healing factor for which, after having her legs shattered by Mileena, she returned with her limbs restored. After the influence of blood magic, her capabilities were further enhanced. She gained full access to blood as she could extract her opponent's blood through their orifices and form weapons out of it.
You here make trouble, Skinny? Troublemaker.
Marvelous verdict. So with this, we have finally come to the end of the video, and we hope it has been entertaining and informative. These characters are yet to be given the limelight in the live-action or animated movies. A movie based on characters like Noob Saibot or any of the rest mentioned is highly awaited, and we hope we get to see it soon from the franchise. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, be safe out there, and thanks for watching.